had started to speak to him once he got the idea that he would shoot it. So those are some of the, countless ways in which he brought himself to this movie.
Can I ask a question to the audience? We were curious if how many people, we're just curious about what the audience is made up of that's coming to see this, because it's very unusual for a tiny art house film like this to have this big of an audience. So should we do it? I mean,
No.
So can you raise your hand if you're here because you're a big Joss fan and you're just like, I want to see that? Raise your hand if you're here because you're like, oh, I want to see a Shakespeare movie. Okay, and then raise your hand if you had no idea who Joss was and just like, I like a black and white artsy movie.
So it seems like lots of people are both here. The Joss and the Shakespeare of it is what interested you. And then there's just some, I guess, fools that bought tickets. Are like, I don't know what I'm seeing. Where am I?
Oh my God.
What? Because you're here? I guess
Because we're here tonight?
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you. No, thank you.
Is it hot in here? Ears are burning.
It's getting hotter.
We have a question right here.
Hi.
Louder, please. I can't hear.
So you brought up the black and white aspect of the film, and I really love it. And in the scene where Benedict and Claudio arrive, and they're in that room with the Barbie dollhouse, and everything's brilliant. It's the music box and the hat with the fluffy edge. Like, how much of that was already in the room? Like, and how did you decide to interact with that? Because it worked so well, but was so hilarious at the same time.
So if everybody heard that, the questions about that room where Claudio and Benedict arrive at the beginning of the movie, it's a little girl's room. And of course, Benedict is spouting off about his distaste for marriage. Well, that is Joss's daughter's room. So
Pink.
it's pink, which I almost convinced him to shoot it in color. But it actually had, some of that was in there, and then they put twice as much in, just to really sort of, bring it home. And I'll tell you one thing. One of my favorite things about this movie happens in that scene. And this is not what you asked, but I'm just going to keep telling this. Fran and I are wrestling around, and we're on the bed and teasing each other, and then we kind of land in these opposite beds. And in the middle of one of our lines, I don't even know whose, one of us knocks that little musical ballerina, which actually we broke.
Aww.
I know. I think they were able to fix it, but I found out after that it might have broken, which a little piece of my heart also. But it went dark for a minute. I'm going to try to bring this back to the fun of the movie, not crying children. Anyway, so that thing made that little noise and started spinning, and I don't know who was talking, but we just stopped and looked at it, and I remember a telepathic conversation with Fran, in which we both at the same time said, "Oh fuck," and then one of us said, "Should we stop?" And the other one said, "I don't know, man. We don't get very many takes on this movie." And so then the other one said, it stopped making sound. Why don't you talk? And then we carried on with the scene.
Time
for one more.
Okay. One more. Right there. You, sir.
Yeah, I think a big part of the style of the movie that was so great was the wardrobe. And I wonder, on such short notice, was this stuff that you guys brought?
Yes.
Was it like stuff that
That tiny jacket that the large man ripped was just my actual. I've been complaining about it at the Q&A, so I'm hoping I'll get just a free jacket in the pair of.
It'll be an XL. Well, the clothes all fit because they're ours. Yeah, I mean, there is a wardrobe department. She did an incredible job, but there was no budget for anything other than us wearing our own clothes. And, the movie is made up of decisions that are made on a purely practical level. I mean, the black and white is a great choice, and it bridges this 400-year-old text to contemporary playing, but also gives you that feel of kind of golden age film noir romantic comedies, right? You also don't have to have a lot of lights, and you can shoot with available light, and it doesn't matter if somebody's wearing a blue dress next to somebody wearing a flaming red dress. It all works tonally. So wardrobe is another instance of like, where do we find the practical, but also what supports the interpretation?
And on most independent films, I've been doing a few here and there, and it's just basically assumed that you will provide your own wardrobe these days because it's just the thing they don't have money to spend on.
Yeah.
But I say Shauna, our costume designer, it's like you brought your stuff, especially the girls, like they brought the stuff and then she was coordinating it, making it all go together. And I think, there's definitely some themes of like the flower prints, the girls. I think that she did an amazing job with that. Can I just say that we are very excited that you guys all came out to this, and we're hoping that you'll tell some friends and spread the word because if people don't go see movies like this, more, other movies of this nature aren't going to get made and aren't going to get seen. So if this one does well, it just means that there's hope for, more independent film. So thank you.
Hey guys, thanks very much. Say farewell. And
Spread the word!
Can you stop it? All right.
Thank you so much for coming.
I thought you wanted me to stop it.
Serena, what a great. And you've seen the other one, right? I haven't seen the other movie. The other
I
one.
know. Good
We have
thing.
it. Like my favorite
Hell,
opera is Alexis and Tom. I know. I did.
Oh man. So do I take a picture with this or record it? I don't know what you mean.
I would just record it.
Okay. Sorry.
oh wait.